Hey guys, All Sports 83 here with another edition of XFL Casual, and today I'll be predicting the 4 games that will kick off the 2023 XFL season. Yep, I'll be giving my thoughts about all 4 Week 1 matchups in order and taking a stab at the winners and final score of each game. I hope to do this every single week and then review those predictions to see if I have a crystal ball or if I'm completely clueless. This week is a challenge with nothing to go on, but I'm going to go for it anyway. Let's get started with the first game of the week. It all starts on Saturday at 3 p.m. on ABC with the Vipers at the Renegades. And if I had to guess, I would say that the best quarterback on the field won't even be playing, and that's Brett Hundley. He was not given the starting nod for this first game of the year. Instead, that's going to go to Luis Perez, who's actually a pretty good spring league football quarterback himself. But it hurts not to have what could be the best quarterback on the field sitting on the sidelines. It's just so hard to build that chemistry when you join a team late. And I think Bob Stoops knows that. And I think that knowing that the best quarterback for the Vipers won't be playing, to me it feels like he's going to stack the box to limit that running game. But the Renegades are going to have to be careful doing that because the Vipers have this really great wide receiver group. And the Vegas could cause problems with that. Star wide receiver Martavis Bryant in particular can really make you pay if he sees a lot of one-on-one matchups. But since this is a prediction video, I'm giving the nod to the running game for the Arlington Renegades. Keith Ford and Adrian Killens make a stacked backfield for the Renegades, and I think they're going to produce, keeping that Viper offense on the sideline. So my prediction is that the Renegades are going to get that win 22-16. I'm not confident in this prediction, or any of them, of course, but I just think that star power for Vegas could be spending most of their time on the sideline. I can't overstate the value of chemistry, and splitting time with those quarterbacks I think really is going to hurt that Vipers offense. And the running game for the not for the Vipers, but for the Renegades looks really, really good, and I just think that's going to be the difference in this game. On to Saturday night's primetime game as the Guardians visit the Roughnecks at 8:30 on ESPN. Most signs point to an easy prediction based on popular opinion, and the biggest gap between the two teams is the coaching. It could be a rough introduction for head coach Terrell Buckley going up against a mountain of experience with Wade Phillips, talking about getting thrown into the fire here. But I do have this feeling that the Guardians players might come with a chip on their shoulder. They've been told all offseason that they're the worst team by a lot of different sources, and they'll want to prove the world wrong Saturday night. I think this makes the game a lot closer than most will think, but I do have the Roughnecks getting the win 26-13. On paper, Houston just has a better roster and a huge coaching experience advantage, and I just can't overlook how important that is. It will be an interesting game, but I just can't see a path for the Guardians to get the upset win. Now to Sunday's game, starting at 3 p.m. on ABC, we have the Battlehawks at the Brahmas. This could be one of those down-to-the-wire types of games. 2 solid rosters and maybe the best quarterback in the league with A.J. McCarron. We also have a couple of new head coaches in Hines Ward and Anthony Becht. This could be one of those sloppy games, really, but still entertaining, and I don't see either team pulling away. Maybe the star of this game will be what looks like to be the largest crowd for the Week 1 games, filling out the lower section of the Alamo Dome, and that's those San Antonio fans. Keep in mind that all teams are traveling from Arlington to their respective locations for these games, so home field really isn't the advantage we might think it is right now, but it could be loud in San Antonio and could cause some disruption for the Battlehawks. For me, that's the edge in this game, and I think the Brahmas are going to squeak out a really tight win, 22-21. I do see some learning opportunities for both coaches, and I'm sure the experience of McCarron could prove me wrong, but I'm going to stick with this prediction, and we'll see how it turns out. Finally, the last game of the week is the XFL's version of Sunday Night Football starting at 8 p.m. on ESPN. The Sea Dragons visit the DC Defenders at Audi Field. Another electric atmosphere from 2020 and a rematch from the first XFL game in 2020. And honestly, this could be the game of the week. Both teams have recognizable players and a really good roster at a glance. Both teams are highly predicted to be in the playoff hunt, and so there is some blockbuster feel to this game. The only real gap here is in the coaching. While Reggie Barlow has coaching experience, the coaching staff in Seattle is just a tower in comparison with Jim Haslett and June Jones. And you add former NFL superstar Josh Gordon running routes for Ben DiNucci, and I have a late score getting it done for the Sea Dragons with a 29-23 victory. I say don't take your eye off of this game. It's going to be a ton of fun, in my opinion. This might be the most exciting game of the week, and it should be a really great way to wrap up Week 1 of the 2023 season for the XFL. And there you have it. Those are my 4 predictions for the Week 1 games here in XFL Week number 1. A couple of quick notes about each game that I'm kind of thinking about. Obviously, Bob Stoots with the Renegades. I want to see how he coaches and how he kind of picks up where he left off in 2020. I am anxious to see how Martavis Bryant will play in the XFL. Obviously, getting Luis Perez as the quarterback, they could be an interesting duo. Moving on to that Guardians Roughnecks game, that's the only game for me that could get out of hand. I do think the Guardians are going to come out and prove the world wrong, so we'll see if they can keep it close and maybe even pull up an upset. I don't see that happening, but could be an interesting matchup. Again, the Anthony Beck, Hines Ward matchup with the coaching, not a lot of experience with that game. I think it could be sloppy. I'm interested in the running game for the Battlehawks. I've said before, I'm interested in Letty Brown as the running back there. And then that Sea Dragons Defenders matchup, I think, could be the game of the week. I want to see if Jordan Ta'amu can pick up where he left off with the Battlehawks in 2020. And even with the USFL last year, he seemed to play pretty well there as well. It just wasn't as consistent as maybe we remember from the XFL in 2020. But hey, those are my picks. You guys let me know what you think about these picks. Give me your final scores. Give me what your predictions are, who's going to win and who's going to lose in Week 1 of the XFL season. I'm always looking forward to hearing your opinion. Until then, you guys have a good one.